Aziz, yeah. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would allow me to start, it gives me great pleasure to have these gentlemen with us here today. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Mr. Mohamed Naguib, the chairman of the World Trading Company, Mr. Hervé Majidier, the country manager of Carrefour Egypt, and Mr. Sharif Azawi, the chairman of PICO. Mr. Hussein Blahita will not be able to join us today. I think there's traffic at Tariq Nas Iskandariya, so he will have an issue. This is an extremely interesting panel because what we did in November in the second Money in Finance is we spoke mostly about the financial sector, we spoke mostly about capital markets, we spoke mostly about energy, but we did not diversify the sectors on the panels. Here we have a diversity of sectors being represented, especially with PICO, because we're both talking about energy and agriculture, and it was great for us to have that double whammy there, because there's a lot of things we'd like to talk about. But what I would like to start off with, and this I think is extremely important to all of us, especially the Egyptian economy, and that is textiles. And that's why I will start with Mr. Mohamed Naguib. Our first meeting, or the reason that we first met, was when we were organizing a conference on qualified industrial zones in 2005. And at that point, it was a celebration of trade and industry in Egypt, I believe, because the Ministry of Trade and Industry at the time was very active, still is active, but was very active in signing a lot of agreements, trade agreements, MOUs, Turkey Association Agreement, Euro-Mediterranean Partnership. There was talk about a free trade agreement with the United States. But all of these put together were a great incentive for industries, specifically textiles, after the WTO change or removal of quotas in 2005. And we saw a great expansion to that sector. Now, it was extremely dependent on the performance and the economic situation in the United States or in Europe, which we know now has been hit really hard, and hence names such as Kmart and others that have closed their doors, we wouldn't have imagined for it to happen. So my first question to you, Mr. Naguib, is what is the impact of the global financial crisis on your sector, specifically regarding your two largest markets, or not yours specifically, but where we export to? We've always talked, I mean, your words were proximity to the market, the quality, the price. I mean, all of these things were things that we talked about in 2005, 2006. Today, maybe it's different. I mean, some of your clients in the States are having major issues, and I'm sure that that has a direct impact on you. But at the same time, we're seeing an increase in the dollar exchange rate with the Egyptian pound, which should be an advantage in one way or the other. Can you please elaborate on that and tell us how your sector is being completely impacted?
Sure. Thank you very much, Ashraf, and I thank you for inviting me